Well, when I first got there in December, he was probably as down as any player I've ever been around, really. I mean, his no confidence, all those things. And then so since we were just kind of going, he had a really good spring. Like his numbers in the spring, again, I'm comparing him to some of the quarterbacks at App, which are pretty good quarterbacks. Like his completion percentage was higher than some of the guys we had at App. That were really good players. And so his confidence level started coming up, and he's worked really hard this summer. As Malik has too, they both work extremely hard. They got a great relationship with 18 new guys. They're competing in the same position, but they got respect for each other. And so I'm excited to get them out on the field. And let's see what they can do. We got some good weapons around them. Receiving core is really good. Running backs are good. So I think they could have a big year.
Coach, do you have a timetable you think you might want to make at quarterback?
I don't know necessarily. We'll kind of get through August a little bit and kind of figure it out. Obviously, before the first week. I mean, the team needs to know who's going to be trotting out there first. So as we get ready for Notre Dame, we'll probably have a great idea and who that may be.
Do you think that?
And will I announce it? Maybe not. But we'll have a good idea about who that may be.
You mentioned the receiver core, and said obviously they got a lot of talent there. One of the positions. Do you think just not knowing who the quarterback is affects them at all?
No, it doesn't matter. When they see that ball coming, they just got to catch it. So it doesn't matter who the guy is throwing. And even this guy could start, and this guy could come in and play the next series. So you got to be ready for whoever's going to be the quarterback. So that doesn't matter.
Scott, in 2015, you took out Clemson, so you got to see kind of that was when really the ascension started for the Tigers.
It was
the championship game
Yep.
that year, and then the rest has been history. Yeah, you've watched that program kind of grow. Now you're in the same league.
Yeah.
What do you think about what Dabo's done?
He's done a great job, and I've seen it, grow, and I think we can do that at Louisville. Like I 100% think we can do that at Louisville, and I've kind of compared, and I've told our staff is like, hey, what Clemson did over the last 8 years, we can do that here. I mean, because they were a team that was flirting around 500, and all of a sudden now you win a few games, you get a couple big time recruits in there, and then it starts growing to what it is now, and because Dabo's done a great job, a phenomenal job. I've visited him down there 4 years in a row in the spring. Their culture at Clemson is very similar to what we had at App and what we'll have at Louisville. It's a very similar culture, and we want. That's where we want to be. We want to be. There's no hiding that. They just won the whole thing, and that's where we want to be.
What are one or two things that you've encountered that you didn't expect in your first 6 months in Louisville? How did you address it? And these are personal things from a head coaching perspective, and work through those.
That I didn't think was coming. I mean, I don't know. Nothing really surprises me. Having been in this business for a long time, there's nothing that surprises me. I think probably, when you left App, and I'm going to an ACC school, I'm thinking, okay, well, we had a pretty good team at App, but we're going to a different level. These guys are going to be, way better. But that wasn't the case. I think, some of the talent we had at App was, I would take some of these guys, and they'd probably start in front of some of these guys, and then obviously both ways with that. But I just anticipated it'd be a lot better, and it wasn't the case, and then the roster management piece, as far as we had 8 scholarship linemen, that blows my mind, we had 15 receivers on scholarship, like it should be reversed, I think. I mean, so those things were kind of shocking to me. And so that's what we're kind of fixing, some roster stuff and having a hard. And that'll take some time to fix that. But I think that's probably the biggest surprise. And then, when you take a job, I had 2 days. I don't have time to do any research. Like I didn't know they'd give up 50 points for 5 straight games. I didn't know that. You just didn't know it. I wouldn't even think to look at that. I saw their record. I knew that something wasn't right. But I'm just a firm believer is that you do what you do, and we've been successful. We can take that, and we'll win here. I mean, I really believe that.
You brought some of your staff with you. Some of the folks on staff weren't with you. What was your strategy in filling those pieces? Was it people you already knew that you had on your list? Were there mentors or friends that you relied on to say, hey, I need a running back coach, I need a receiver coach? Who would you?
Well, I think, obviously I think you want to be with people that you can trust, and so that's the core of my staff was guys that I knew had worked with and I could really trust. I kind of wanted to get some other guys that had some experience in this conference, and so Dwayne Ledford and Gunnar Brewer, Shadon Brown is at Colorado, so he's kind of at the same level. Noor has to me, he's a good young rising star football coach, and he's outstanding. And so he got recommended by a lot of people, and we were in the same league, and so he's phenomenal. So we got him on. So that's how we built our staff out. Court Dennison was at Louisville. Heard great things about him. So when I get the job, people in my ear like, hey, Court may want to come back. Well, so I reached out to him, talked to him. I said, man, he'd be a great fit. He wanted to come back, so we got him back. He's worked great with our staff. He's fit right in with everything that we're doing. Perfect fit. And so I've been very blessed that we put together, I think, an outstanding staff that I think can really take this thing at Louisville and really take it to a high level with what we have here. So I'm really excited about what we got.
Would you like to see Louisville App State series at some point?
No. I don't want to play them boys.
I mean, the whole day you seem pretty calm, kind of at home. What has this day been like for you? It's kind of your first time in that ACC.
Yeah, it's I'm just humbled to be here, man. A couple of those coaches we were taking a picture on stage. They're like, "Man, you get sit in the front row." I said, I'm just glad I'm on the stage. You just put me anywhere, I just am glad I'm here. I've had 6 media days in Sun Belt. It's not much different, really. It's the same kind of questions, and I've been through it. I'm just excited to be a part of this league. I think this is a great league, not only in football but all the other sports. I just love the ACC, and so to be a part of this is humbling to me, and to be around these coaches, I just cool. That's just neat for me as a fan. You take your hat off, and as a fan, that's just neat to see these guys. Now, when we come in the fall, we're going to battle. We're going to play. But as a fan, this is cool.
Is it kind of a little bit more confident knowing it's in North Carolina too?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I love this state. I love North Carolina. It's this is home to me. All my life, and to be down here in Charlotte is great. And it's just a familiarity. I think anything that you're familiar with, you feel more comfortable. And in Louisville, I hope Louisville. I'm there a long time. I think it's a great town. I think you can do some great things there. And I hope that becomes my home. For a long time. And I can visit North Carolina. So it's been a great experience to be here.
How'd you deal with the fire alarm?
I just sat there and listened to it until it went off. What are you going to do? It's like control the things you control. I can't control it, so we just sit there until Rocco says go over here. That's it.
One time in the past we talked about said you went to Spurrier's campus.
Yeah, it is.
Did you grow up as a Duke fan, Carolina fan? Or?
Probably Duke. Yeah, probably Duke. My very first football camp was at Duke, and Spurrier was the OC, and my roommate was Spurrier Jr., Bubba. He was my roommate that day. He was like 8 and I was 7. And matter of fact, we didn't even do football. We went over and caught tadpoles off the pole vault pit that had water in it. So we're over there. I was 7, man. I was just playing around, and I think he's coaching at Washington State now. I think, and I ran into him at a camp, and I said, you don't remember this. I said, but you and I were roommates back when I was 7 at Duke football camp. But I probably grew up there, because we sold programs to get in those games, and I just probably about 5 or 6 years went to Duke games all the time growing up. I've never been to a North Carolina game, like never, and I grew up right there. But I always went to Duke and I went to State. Those are the 2 games that we always went to. Went to East Carolina, but it's crazy that I've never been to a game in Chapel Hill.
Is it kind of surreal to find yourself 7-year-old now here?
I know it is. It's very surreal. It really is a dream come true to be a part of this league, and that's probably as a kid, you got these dreams or whatever, and I couldn't even dream that big back then. I just wanted to play some football and basketball and baseball, but now to be sitting here is awesome. It's great.
Scott, athletes and mental health issues. How much more awareness do coaches have?
Oh, tremendous amount. Yeah, tremendous amount of more awareness. Really in the last probably 2 to 3, 4 years. The things that young people go through, a lot of adversity and how they handle that, and so we're very aware of that. And if we suspect or anything going on, we're right there. We're going to refer them to, our people on campus. We have, people they can talk to and all that, because it's obviously a very serious situation, and one that we don't take lightly, and we take very seriously. I've had to deal with some situations, at App when I was the head coach with some of our guys, and we don't take that lightly for sure.
I know you're new, obviously, in Louisville, but have you noticed at all a difference in resources, more resources to address some of that stuff?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, obviously a different level. There's different money, and but even at App, we had to bring on a psychologist that was for athletics. We just did that, I think, this past year. But here they already have that. We already have some things in place at Louisville. But yeah, this day and age, man, you got to take everything serious. And and I've got 3 kids. I got 3 teenagers. Mine are 15, 16, and 18, and I know how crazy their minds are. So we're there for them and listen to everything that's going on.
How can coaches go about telling the difference between maybe a kid who is dealing with something and the soft moniker?
Yeah, well, I just think because you can see we're around them so much on a daily basis that you can kind of see when something's a little bit off today, or something a little bit different today. And so that you say, hey, come see me. So you start delving into that right there. We're around them so much that I think that's the case. Now, is that a perfect science? Probably not. But I think you can kind of get a feel for it. And then you try to get them to open up. Next thing you know, all right, here we go. So I just think we're very cognizant of that as a staff. We talk about it a lot with our whole staff, strength staff, our trainer, all our coaches. So everybody in the building's on board with that.
Was there even a concept for that kind of thing when you were a player?
No, heck no. Oh no. And it's all about safety of the people. Really, what it comes down to. You think about concussions now. It's way different. Back then, man, you got a headache. Go take some Tylenol. You just keep going playing. That's not the case now. Now you got protocols of how you're going to come back. And, man, I stay away from all that. I'm like, hey, the trainers, that's why they're getting paid. Trainers and doctors, you guys handle all that stuff right there. Because, listen, we're here for these kids. I mean, I got 3 kids now. Probably a different perspective now than I had before I had kids. I mean, that's your babies, man. You want what's best for them. And the same with these guys right here. I want what's best for them. So yeah, I think that's why I think the game of football is even greater now, because of all these things we're doing, precautionary measures that we're taking for safety of these athletes, and I think that's going to help prolong the game.
Physical health though now.
Yeah.
How is your team moving into fall camp? With your stuff, your offensive line in the spring.
Yeah.
How are your numbers? And are you expecting to start fall camp without them?
Well, knock on some wood, we're pretty healthy right now. Our guys, Coach Mike and Matt Summers, done a great job, training all our guys. There's only right now on our injury report, I bet there's probably maybe 5 to 6 guys, not many, but they're going. They're still practicing. They're still doing everything. So I would foresee everyone being the first day of training camp, being able to go. And then obviously we'll see how it goes from that point forward. But that's the main thing. There was a year at that we had 18 guys that had hamstring issues one year. It just happened to be a hamstring year, So we're in great shape right now. We just got to hopefully keep it that way.
Would that have been the case had spring practice been later?
Well, we had 5 guys have surgeries right after spring, so right at the 1st of March, and they're all over here this summer. Right. If we went all the way through April, end of April, may have some guys out right now. So I think that's why we've been going earlier, for spring practice. So yeah, I think that's we're in good shape with injury.
It's easy to say guys are buying in, the guys are saying it. How do you know that they've bought in?
Well, I think just by who's showing up every single day. We got a little board, can't get right board. Well, if you don't show up, you get your name on it. Well, there's less names on the board. To me, that says they're buying in. These guys are doing what they're supposed to be doing. You hear comments. I hear a player getting on another player. That's what I like. That's how I know you're buying in, because the team is leading the team, and that's when it becomes real. We got to get more of that. But they're starting to get that. They're starting to understand that, and over time, that'll continue to grow and build.
I know you came to Louisville and the roster. A lot of people have left. Filling that back up. Do you care at all about going into the season without being full on scholarships?
Well, yeah, I care. I wish we had all, full 85. I mean, it's that's tough. I mean, that's one of these hard things to where you only can sign 25 next year. So can you get caught back up? And so that's going to be a challenge. Somebody asked that earlier about how can you get caught back up, particularly with the transfer portal now, with guys leaving early for the NFL. I mean, all these things come into play, and that's one of the hardest things as head coach is roster management. So it's tough.
What kind of energy does Cortez bring to coaching room, practice field?
Yeah, a lot of energy. He's a young go-getter. He really doesn't have any kids. Doesn't have wife. I mean, he's got us, you know. So he's there and he's all into it. And he's rolling. He's fitting great with us and our staff. In a defensive staff room, does a great job recruiting. You know, he's just been a really, really good fit. So glad that he's part of our staff.
How important was it to get a guy who recruited most of that roster who's familiar with him?
Yeah, I think the guys appreciate that. You know, they're familiar with him, and you know, he kind of, you know, he helps behind the scenes to say, hey, you know, this staff's going to be really good. You know, that's what he's talking to the players. They're going to be really good. Let's just be buying into what they're doing, and, you know, because they listen to him, they trust him. He already had that trust. And so now that's kind of helped really just facilitate this transition.
Is he a little different when you interviewed him? Or he's just kind of a quirky?
No, he's good, man. No, he was good. We had an easy conversation, and I had called some other people, you know, and they give great recommendation, you know, and so no, he's been great. I'm tickled to death that he's part of our staff.
All right, guys.
Your limited numbers on your scholarships. It's tough to reestablish a physical brand with those sort of guys.
Yeah.
You know, knowing that you might have injuries in fall camp or something like that?
Well, I mean, I can't worry about that. You know, we're going to do what we got to do in order to, if I can think back. I think back to 07 when I was at App and we went and played Michigan. That was probably the most physical camp I've ever been a part of. We had dudes dropping left and right, and I'm like, holy crap, we're going to have anybody for this game. Well, we didn't have two players. We didn't have our starting center and a safety, and our quarterback was out. He didn't even practice 2 weeks before we played Michigan, Armani Edwards, and then he ends up playing, and you know, rest is history. But that prepared us for that game. And I really believe we're going to have to do a little bit of that this year. The first couple of weeks, going to have to be physical and really get into it. And if we get some injuries, hopefully they'll be back by the time you play that game, you know, a couple of weeks later. So, you know, we'll just kind of weigh that out. And if we start getting too banged up, then we'll have to pull back. You know, so we'll kind of look at that on a daily basis.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you.